All right. Let's do it. Welcome, everybody, back to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I'm Chris Witt. With me, as always, Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
Man, I'm in such a good mood today.
Yeah?
It's Thanksgiving Eve, right?
Glutton Fest 2018, getting ready to start.
Happy Thank Yous Giving to everyone.
Yeah.
So, which means I don't have to work for the next 4 days.
Yeah.
That's really what that means. That's really what Thanksgiving means to me.
Yeah.
I don't have to work for the next 4 days. Also, I saw the best college basketball game I've seen in a long time.
Oh, man.
This evening.
How much fun was that? Gonzaga Duke.
Oh, man.
1-3 in Hawaii. It doesn't get much better than that.
It was awesome to watch. I'm just feeling good. How are you?
If I was any better, I'd be you, brother.
Right on.
All right. Well, listen, the Nosebleeds, we're here back again on the Facebook Live. For anybody out there on Facebook Live, we appreciate you tuning in, checking it out. Next week, we might have a little different setup. We're gonna move the old studio around. We got some new lighting we're gonna throw in here, try to get some stuff worked out a little bit, and see how it goes. Kind of excited about it.
I am too.
I'm gonna see you 3 straight days. 3 days in a row, me and you will see each other.
I'm sorry for you.
I don't know. Tomorrow, of course, is Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. I'm thankful for, everything that I have in my life, family, sure. You, this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for everything. What about you? What are you thankful for, brother?
I'm thankful for all those things too. I'm definitely thankful for my family first and foremost, of course. And you're included in that, obviously, because we're cousins.
1-3.
I'm thankful for Facebook Live, within Facebook Live on the program.
You can get that done. That's how we do things here. We just bring ourselves right back into it.
I'm definitely thankful for the opportunity to do this and for you orchestrating 99.999% of it.
So here's what I'm going to do to continue to orchestrate it.
Okay.
I need you to talking right there. Now talk down.
Oh, now talk.
Dude,
listen
to that. Here we go.
I get to talk down on someone. Do I have to go like this the whole time?
I got it. We're good now.
You're right though. I hear that much better in my own.
I got you, brother. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna take care of you, brother. You just hang out with me. We'll go places.
All right, like in this basement?
In this basement.
That's where we'll go?
Yeah.
That's where I want to be.
There you go. All right, so, thankful for family, you said, right? Good to go.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm a little shocked, Chris. Thought you might be delayed start. No delayed start. Xavier is in the middle of playing. It's very difficult for me not to watch the Xavier game right now.
Yeah, kudos to you, man.
Adam's got it up for you. Listen, we're working now, man. I got something I got going on. I got to take care of business.
Well, Xavier's up 10 right now with under 10 minutes to go.
I like it. It doesn't mean much. Bleeds, Facebook, follow, friend, all that good stuff. Comment on us. Talk to us. We'll try to get back at you. SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Podcast, CastBox. Get on there. Hit the subscribe button. Comment on there. We appreciate it, and we'll get back to you. Whatever you got to say. Oh, and coming up very shortly, very soon, nosebleedsports.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the exciting news this week.
Look out, Barstool Sports. Nosebleedsports.com is on its way. John Wright, how you doing, big dog? We send shout-outs while we're doing this. Sure. Facebook Live, somebody gets on. What up, C-Dub, J-Dub? How you doing?
We love doing that.
There you go. Anyway, nosebleedsports.com. Check it out. It's not up yet. It'll be up soon. Also, the unveiling of... So here's what happened. So the T-shirts and the logo that I've been talking about having for a long time, right? We promised a bunch of people T-shirts if they went and subscribed a few months ago or longer. And so the T-shirts are in. The box has been here for over a week. And I got there's this smoking hot chick that came up and she did this pitch about wanting to do 3 logos for us, and I didn't even hear her talk. She's so beautiful. I just said, okay, Well, the logos now, I have 3 logos. We're going to put them on Facebook for you guys to vote. You tell us what you want which one of the 3 logos you want us to use. And shout out to Aaron for taking care of that. And then all the shirts will finally be ready to go. And if you're not getting a free one, you can always get one at nosebleedsports.com possibly. We'll see how it
Coming
goes.
soon.
Coming soon. All right, so let's get started off. Worst hair in NBA. We got a little poll going on Facebook. We're going to be in the Final Four because JaVale McGee smoked Joakim Noah. So now it's going to be the Final Four. The number 1 seed, Elfrid Payton, versus number 4 seed, JaVale McGee. What do you think?
I think the Elfrid Payton, what were we calling it? The umbrella or
the umbrella?
Was
yeah,
it? Is that?
I think another podcast host out there, Tyler Roop, out in L.A. in California, I think he called it the umbrella. Yeah, and I kind of like that. It's basically his face never gets wet when it rains.
Right. So we get that and JaVale McGee's triple rat tail.
All right, worst hair. We'll put them up there tonight. Get on there and vote. See what you got. All right, let's get kicked off, man. Nosebleed Sports Podcast. Adam Schmidt, Chris Witt. Here we go. Let's talk about some Bengals. We're going to do quick because I'd rather talk about that Monday night game that went down between the Rams and the Chiefs. So another L for our lowly Bengals. The defense is just killing me. This defense, Marvin Lewis didn't do anything to help it. Marvin going over there making calls didn't do anything. Obviously, they're hurt. They're injured still. There's a lot of guys out. Vontaze Burfict he looks like he might as well be Vinny Ray the way he plays out there.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, they did. The defense was bad. It's been bad. The offense isn't looking a whole lot better than the defense is right now either. I don't know. They really didn't ever get anything going on offense, especially while AJ Green's out. Tyler Boyd is really your only wide receiver you can trust, and he's been really good. But
John Ross made a couple nice catches, but he's not a professional. He's not a pro wide receiver yet.
I still don't trust him.
No, I wouldn't either, and I don't think Andy does. And you can tell when he plays that he doesn't trust him. So yeah, there's a lot of room to work. Anyway, the Bengals got the Browns this week. We got to have a W. This is the whole reason they brought Hugh Jackson in. Let's get 2 W's. Hugh, tell us what they're doing. Let's get this thing done. I got $10 riding on this game. Straight up, somebody thought the Bengals would win. I'd take that all day against the Browns.
Somebody else thought, so you're taking the Browns?
No, I'm taking the Bengals.
Okay.
You kidding me?
I thought
they still got a chance at 11-6 or 11-5. Like I said, they still got a chance at 11-5. Yeah.
Yes,
they do.
Mathematically, they do.
Mathematically,
you're
they do.
Yes,
I'm still in on it.
I'll tell you what, boy. Speaking of bets, if they go 11-5, we cancel out this. We're even on our picks. We make weekly picks for 3 games.
Yeah.
If they go 11-5,
so that's
because
the bet is if they go 11-5, then I win. Then our bet that we would have on the picks is off.
Yes, and look, I don't want to get too far ahead, but it's
so here's the deal. By this show next week, I need you to come up with something that we are going to do for this bet.
Okay.
All right, because I'm getting my butt kicked, which we'll get to that in a second. So Monday night.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get this off my chest because all week, not all week, the last 2 days, all I keep hearing on radio, TV, everywhere, the new NFL. You got a glimpse of the new NFL. No, this is where the NFL is going. Yes, the NFL is going somewhere where there's going to be more points scored. All right, I understand that. The way the rules have changed and everything, but we're not going to be at a place in 10 years where every game is 55 or 54-51. It's not going to happen. There will be more points scored, which is a good thing. You won't get as many of the 10-6 games or anything like that. But look, we've had teams like this forever. It's just so happened that 2 of the 3 teams in the NFL like this played each other. Mm-hmm. That's all it was.
Yeah.
There's 3 teams that play like this. Every year, there's a couple teams that are just up and down, score as many points as you can. Usually, New Orleans is one of them. Mm-hmm. You had the Rams back in the day with the greatest show on turf. Mm-hmm. I mean, this team, come on. the Bengals and the Browns scored more points than you did on Monday night. I mean, it's not like you did something super special.
That was a long time ago, but yes, two very different Bengals and Browns teams.
I'm tired of hearing about this. Sorry.
No, it's boy, that really sounds like a get off my lawn type of thing. There.
Get off my lawn. There you go. The segment, get off my lawn. So, but tell me about it.
No,
I'm telling you, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think that this is the new NFL. Yes, the new NFL is going to have more points, but is it going to be 54, 51 every week? Don't give me that crap. There's too many good. In fact, there was three or four defensive touchdowns the other night. So come on.
Yeah. That was a result, I feel like, of so much passing. Like both teams just passed the heck out of the ball in that game.
That's what they do.
But I think that's why it's a little safer to run, because there are usually less turnovers, interceptions. Every time a quarterback drops back, if he gets pressured, he bumps into his own guy or something. He can drop the ball. You're going to get more turnovers the more you pass the ball, I think. So that was part of that. But yeah, those two teams, you're right. Those two teams, along with the Saints,
they just so happened to play each other. That's all it was. I'm
right.
tired of this. Is the future. This is not the future of the NFL. The future of the NFL is more points. I'm going to give you that. But it's not 100-point games every week. It's not going to happen. That's not where we're heading. Get it off. I'll be the first one to put it out there. This is Overreaction Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day today is. Overreaction Thanksgiving. Come on, it was one game. It was a high-scoring game. That's the two best offenses in the NFL besides the Saints. They just played each other.
Yeah, they do. So every year they do tweak the rules to favor the offense a little bit more. Seems like every year. Part of that is the whole safety thing. You can't. I was joking about it earlier with you. There's like a little 6-inch box on a guy's body that you're allowed to hit the guy. Anywhere other than that, it's a penalty.
Exactly.
And you're not allowed to hit quarterbacks anymore either.
That's been for a while.
Right. But yeah, so the rules changing. There are some coaches that are like big time offensive minds. Your Chip Kellys, your guys that come up and like revolutionize offenses in the NFL, and that's happening too. So it's those things together, but I agree with you. It's not. We're not going to see 40-something to 40-something, 50-something to 40-something games all the time, and that's the thing. It's cyclical too. Like in every sport, you're going to see more teams score more points for a while, and then somebody's just going to really concentrate on building their defense up, and they're going to start winning on defense, and then everybody's going to start copying that again.
And it'll go right back.
It will.
I don't know the defense will ever be as big as it is now, or was, obviously, but it will. Things are going to turn. Things will continue. Right now, it's going to be a while before you see a defensive coordinator get a head coaching job. I can tell you that.
You're probably right. Probably right.
So, now, I do want to say this, though, because Jared Goff and Pat Mahomes are two ridiculously good quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. So, tomorrow, I plan on being Pat Mahomes, minus the 5 interceptions. I take that back. I'll probably throw 5 interceptions.
If I'm not on your team, I'm going to try to get one of those.
All right, good luck. You probably will. I probably throw one to everybody tomorrow.
So, we have the our cousin Turkey Bowl, I guess, every Thanksgiving morning. I dread it every single year because we got to get.
It's so funny. Everybody talks about how much they hate going out and play football on Thursday morning. Am I the only one that still likes to do this?
No, other people like it too, I think. But it's just the thought of getting up early, and it's when it's cold out, which it is right now. It's just but we always have fun. We always end up having fun, no matter how much I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore.
We laugh really hard.
It's
a good time. We got rid of the tackle. We're into flag now.
Yeah,
we're all old.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all old, so we're playing flag. It's much better game. So anyway, good luck to that. All right, let's get into our football picks. I was 0-3 last week. We don't need to go over them. You were 2-1. I'm getting smoked. I think I'm down 14 or 15 games now.
10.
I lost this bet. I'm down 10 games. There's 5 weeks of football left. It's almost impossible for me to come back, but we'll give it a go. Here we go. So I'm going to let you start off, man. Who'd you take?
I'm taking so Seattle is at Carolina. Carolina's favored by 3.5. I'm taking Carolina. I'm also taking Minnesota at home against Green Bay. Minnesota is a 3-point favorite. And I'm taking a big one here. New Orleans is at home against Atlanta. They are 12.5-point favorites. I'm going to go ahead and take them to cover that.
All right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm not taking any more because last week I took 3 3-point spread games, and they were both 3-point games. Yep. So everything's going to be a half point. So I'm going right down this line here. We're going. I'm going to take. I'm going to go Atlanta plus 12.5. Yep. That's a loss right off the bat for me. And then I'm going to take the Giants plus 5.5 in Philly. And I'm going to take New England minus 9.5 in New York.
Okay, so we've got one common game there, the Atlanta-New Orleans game.
Comes the comeback. Don't call it a comeback. I never went anywhere.
I will not call it a comeback.
You can call it a comeback.
Okay, so yep, we'll see. Right now we are. I'm 17-13. You're 7-23. That's where we're at. Like you said,
17-13. I'm telling you what, brother, you're making money in this picking thing. Something you've never done before in your life.
Right.
Gambling on football games, and you're kicking. You're doing well. You're doing real well.
I'm in the black right now, but I mean just barely. It's not like I'm.
You don't understand. You're 4 games up.
Oh, is that big?
Yeah, I mean most people. I mean, you get over 50. Hey, listen, I'm just trying to make a dollar. You put a stack on every game, brother. Think about that. Yeah.
Well, I haven't made anything because we're not betting any money at all.
Yeah, but if you were, you'd be up a whop. You'd have a whop in your pocket. All right.
I don't know what a whop is, but that sounds pretty good.
All right, so we're gonna get on to the next movement of what we do in this podcast. Swipe left, swipe right. Episode 8. I always talk about it. Adam did it. Speaking of, real quick, I found out today Adam has a blog. I didn't know this. I had no idea.
I did have
my
one.
cousin, the co-host of the Nosebleed Sports Podcast, and we're on episode like 32 of this thing. We've been doing this for daggone near a year, and I had no idea that you had a podcast, that you had a blog.
Yeah, I have a podcast. It's called The Nosebleeds. No, I had a blog. I started it like probably 6, 7, 8 years ago or something. I thought I was going to do something with it. I wrote maybe one editorial thing and then an update on what happened in some NBA games on a few nights or whatever. And that was about the extent of that.
All right. So here's the deal. So the nosebleedsports.com. Mm-hmm. will be up and running soon, and it'll have a link to Adam's blog, and he's going to start blogging again.
So I'll start writing again.
Start writing again. That sounds good to me.
I'll have to get some pointers from Andre Edwards.
Yeah, our friend Andre Edwards, the Bengals insider, comes on with us every 4 weeks in the Bengals season. We appreciate that. Check him out. He writes for LockedOnBengals.com. Always has something good. He's got an article on there every 3 weeks or so. Check it out. At Andre Edwards 06.
On Twitter, yeah.
On the tweet box. All right. So that's going to bring us swipe left, swipe right. Go ahead, brother. What do you got?
I have. So, Chris, a baseball player that we both like a lot, announced his retirement just the other day. Adrian Beltre.
21 years.
21 years in the game.
He's only 32 years old.
He started playing when he was 11 years old professionally. He's going to turn 40 in April, I believe. But he spent 21 years at the major league level. It's very impressive. One of the better defensive third basemen we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Also drove in a ton of runs, over 1,700 RBIs. He had 477 home runs, I believe. The guy kind of always hit and always fielded his position really well. Swipe left or swipe right, Adrian Beltre is a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Adrian Beltre, Hall of Famer. I'm going to swipe right to this, and I'm going to tell you why. I like sports trivia. I get into these little sports trivia games and do little stupid apps and all. And sometimes I'll just go on Baseball Reference and pull up a category and just say, okay, top 5 in this category. Try to figure it out. Go back, and if you go active players, all-time active players stats, that dude is top 5 in everything.
Yeah.
His generation, when he played, he was one of the top 5 all time of I don't want to say top 5 players, but just statistically, longevity wise, and longevity in Major League Baseball. If you play long enough, your stats will get up there, and the old guys they vote on the Hall of Fame are going to put you in.
Longevity is everything.
In baseball, well, really in any sport, not as much maybe in football, because you can be really good for 5 years in football and you still get your props. But still, the longer you play in any sport, especially in baseball, that's when your stats start getting up there into the big numbers, and it goes. So
right.
I'm gonna swipe right to that, man. I like Adrian Beltre. He's fun. He always has fun out on the field. Him and Elvis Andrews.
Yeah,
did I say that right?
You're right.
It's like a tongue twister. Him and Andrews over at shortstop play around with each other all the time. I was watching all these, fly balls. It's the fly ball to Beltre in the infield, and Andrews is like in front of him, like trying to box him out and goofing around with him in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, and those two have a good time. Adrian Beltre always has a good time. Big ups to him. Congratulations, Adrian. I know you're watching. We appreciate you and listening all the time. He's subscribed. He's already got his Nosebleed Sports Podcast T-shirt, and his has a special little thing on the back of it that says HOF 2029. That sounds like a year.
2029.
That's when I feel like he'll get in. I don't feel like he's not a first ballot guy.
Oh, okay.
It's going to take a few years. He's not a first ballot guy.
I got you.
Yeah, he's not.
He
not
can't
a first ballot guy.
He can't be a first ballot guy because you have guys that should easily be first ballot guys that aren't, and we could get into a whole thing about that, but we won't. But I agree with you.
The only problem I have with Baseball Writers Association putting people in the Hall of Fame, and I don't care about if you say people should be first ballot or they're not. You know what? They're going to get in. I don't really care about that. The one that gets me is Ken Griffey Jr. Not unanimously. That's the great. I mean, he was a first ballot Hall of Famer, but it was one guy out there decided he wasn't going to put him at the top of his list. How in God's name is he not number? That is the stuff that irks me because nobody's perfect. Nobody gets into the Hall of Fame with a perfect, unanimous vote. You stick it. You're old.
So even though he's like a top 3 best player of all time, he doesn't get first ballot Hall of Fame.
He gets to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, just not unanimously number 1.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Baseball Writers Association of America are on my crap list.
All right, so Adrian Beltre, real quick. I just want to throw these out there. 477 home runs, 286 career batting average, 3,166 hits, 1,524 runs. The RBIs are what does it. 1,700 RBIs. He's got. I mean, the dude slugged a career 480. I mean,
those are Hall of Fame numbers without question to me.
Yeah, I'm definitely in on it. He's got a ring. He's done everything he needs to do.
The 3,000 hits alone probably gets him in there, but those other numbers
back in the day definitely would have. But 477 with 3,000 hits, that's impressive.
Real good.
All right, so swipe left, swipe right. To you, the Reds made the right move by signing Raisel Iglesias to a 3-year deal instead of possibly trading him.
Swipe left.
I had a feeling you would say
swipe left. I'm not a big closer guy. I understand there are a few in baseball that are like the best. Your Aroldis Chapmans, the guys that are the top guys. Everybody else, honestly, you can find your best available bullpen guy to get outs. However you decide to do that. Tons of people do bullpen by committee now and stuff like that, or closer by committee, I should say. I was hoping that they would use, because Raisel Iglesias was one of their best pieces to trade I
thought so
season.
too. I agree with that. He was their best.
That's what I wanted to see them do with him.
You had an opportunity to get rid of a guy who is, I believe, I'm with you. I think the closer is a worthless role. Not worthless. I take that back. It's not worthless. But I think it's an interchangeable role. I think it's something that you can find in a guy that you didn't know, has got the stuff, but you didn't know that where he could be, but he can do it in that closer role. You can find those. They come up every year. There's 2-3 new unbelievable closers that come up. Listen, this was an opportunity to get rid of an arm, because we don't have a lot of them. We don't want to get rid of any of the starters. That's not, heaven forbid. Well, we don't have any to get rid of. Nobody wants any of them. But you can get rid of and what I think is an overrated arm. I think the kid's unbelievable. He's got electric stuff. He's dominant as all get out. But I just don't know. One inning of every game, and most of the time it's a ninth, and you're throwing to 7, 8, and 9. It's useless to me. I don't like the closer role. So if you got a guy who is going to demand money because he's a closer, then yes. If you have an opportunity to get rid of him to a team who's going to give you something because they need a stopper, we don't need a stopper. He never gets in. He doesn't get to close games. He's not going to get to close games for another 2 years. We're going to be bad for 2 more years. So you sign him to a 3-year deal. You basically gave this dude closer money to have the least amount of saves of any everyday closer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And the other thing for me is Bob Castellini and Dick Williams both said since the end of the season that this is going to be the year they are going to spend some money and get some pitching on this team this offseason.
But this isn't the way to do it.
This is not the way to do it. You gave him 3 years, $24 million. So you're giving him $8 million a year that you could use for another starter, or even spread it out, a couple of pretty good bullpen guys, and then have those guys help you out.
Find some of those middle guys. Find some of those guys that have been starters in the past, have moved into the bullpen but got decent stuff. Somebody that you can move back and forth into different roles, because for the next 2 years, this Reds team is not going to be good. Their offense will still probably be good, but they cannot find a rotation. At this point in time, you have got to spend money on figuring out your rotation. Yes, and I'm not saying going out and getting veterans, signing veterans or anything like that, but if you don't even need to sign. It's not about the money at this point in time. It's about getting the correct pieces. And listen, I like Iglesias. I think the kid is, like I said, he is electric. The guy's got great stuff. I just don't know that was the right move.
Just not as a starter.
Not exactly.
We thought originally he was going to be the ace, maybe. Yeah. For the next,
it's the same thing that happened with Aroldis Chapman. They put Chapman in that role, and he loved it because the place went nuts, and he could throw 103, 104 as hard as he wanted to. Not get his dead arm syndrome that he would get all the time.
Right.
And I thought that I thought that was a waste for him. I thought that the best thing for the Reds and Aroldis Chapman would have been to keep him in that starting rotation and let him learn how to pitch a full game. Because think about that. You could have possibly had a Justin Verlander. What would you rather have? Would you rather have an Aroldis Chapman that comes in at the end of the game, or a guy like Justin Verlander who comes up every 5 days and throws 100, 101, 102 with a nasty slider?
Definitely.
I mean, you want a starter. Why? I don't understand. Iglesias was the same way. He came up. This dude's supposed to be. I mean, it's like if they would have got rid of him, we would have put Castillo in that role or something. It's. I hate it. I don't like it. This team needs so much to focus on their starting pitching, and they're not doing it. Well, I'm sure they're trying, but it just doesn't seem like it.
They did have. I did hear the rumor. I think you heard the same one that they were talking to. I think it was the Yankees about Sonny Gray. I want to say.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trade.
They're talking. I
right,
hate those.
Yeah.
They're
just rumors.
They're talking. You know what,
rumors.
Dude? This is the off season. You know that these guys talk to each other. I bet that every general manager talks to each other I bet at least 3 times a week. I bet they talk to every single GM in the off season 3 times a week. You're just shoot the shit and just find out what everybody else what's going for. What are people asking you about this guy? I don't want him, but I got a guy kind of like him. What kind of feelers are you getting on it? What do you think I could get for him? These guys talk all the time.
Yeah, and then you got the winter meetings where a lot of stuff happens there, and
Yeah, because they all
Sorry.
go get drunk, they all go get drunk together afterwards, sit down, go get some dinner, couple drinks. You know what? I'm going to give you Adrian Beltre, even if he is retired. They're struggling over there today.
I'm trying to avoid this coughing fit. They make overserved transactions, and
Adam's been to
they're fun.
Yeah, you've been to the winter meetings a couple times, correct?
I've been once.
Once,
yes,
okay.
Once.
And didn't you sit down with Bruce
awesome.
Bochy or something like that?
I met Bruce Bochy. I didn't sit down.
When I say
met
sit
him.
down with him, I mean obviously you didn't hey, Bruce was like, you know what, you're Adam Schmidt. Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I love you guys. Let me sit down and bullshit with you for a little bit. Man, I've said that twice I apologize.
That was a long time before we started doing this podcast, but I'm sure he knows. I mean, obviously he knows who we are now.
Yeah. Speaking of Bruce Bochy, big shout out to him. We got a comment on SoundCloud from Bruce Bochy a couple weeks ago telling us how great we've been doing and how much he loves us. Thanks, Bruce. Keep up the good work.
Drunkle Bruce.
He
just always looks drunk to me.
Yes.
At all times.
He might be.
Maybe he is.
He's got that red face.
Hey,
deal.
Ron Washington was on cocaine all the time at one time, so hey, why not?
Everybody thought he was just waving guys home during the playoffs. Nah, he's just mellow. He's just coked out of his mind.
Hey, when you're Bruce Bochy and you win 2 or 3 or whatever it is,
3 out of 6 years.
Yeah, World Series. When you don't even have none of those teams were the best team in baseball that year, but they just won it somehow. I guess you can get drunk.
There you go.
You can stay drunk.
Go get hammered. All right, so there you go. All right, so let's move on then.
Okay.
Duke Gonzaga.
That was just tonight. It was the finals of the Maui Invitational. We mentioned it early on in the podcast tonight that Xavier was part of that field. You had some good teams in this field, but it came down to Duke and Gonzaga, who I thought, probably the favorites because Duke #1 team going in.
Yep.
Gonzaga the #3 team in the country going in. And I'll tell you what, it really surprised me how I've been hearing about how good this Gonzaga team is. It surprised me how well they matched up and played and competed against Duke.
They are very athletic.
They
Gonzaga
really are.
teams is you don't and I feel bad for these West Coast teams because they just don't get the play that these guys over here get. Mm-hmm. This Gonzaga team is the real deal. Obviously, they beat Duke today, so they're going to be called the real deal. And then, before overreaction Wednesday begins, they really are though. I mean, they've got a great group of kids. They left some points on the line, a lot of points on the line in that game, which is what got Duke back into it at the end. Mm-hmm. They were basically beating Duke by 11-13 the whole game. I mean, I don't want to say dominated, but they basically dominated Duke that whole game. Left a lot of points on the line. Duke hit a couple big threes, got back into it, and in the final minute or two to make it closer than what the score really even was.
Well, they did tie it with like a minute to go or whatever, but then Duke missed their last 7 shots. Missed 7 shots in the last minute of the game. So I mean, when you start fouling and stuff, you have a ton of possessions in the last minute or two. That's what happened, and that Gonzaga, like you said, gave them a bunch of opportunities.
Oh yeah,
to tie or win the game because they kept missing free throws. But so Duke was 0 for 7 in the last minute, and R.J. Barrett was 0 for 5 himself.
R.J. Barrett missed a dunk. Big time missed a dunk. Zion Williamson missed a dunk. One of his famous
Trey Jones did
windmill dunks. Yeah, that's right. Trey Jones, right?
Yeah, Trey Jones.
Yeah, you're right. Don't second guess yourself. You got it, brother. But yeah, they it was definitely an interesting game. I mean, Duke didn't play their best game.
No,
but. And Gonzaga played a very good game. Shoot, they scored. They shot 72% from the field in the first half.
Yeah.
So that helps against a Duke team. But Duke wasn't able to get out and run because every time they got the ball on the other side, it was coming through the basket. So the out and run just didn't happen on the defensive rebounding side.
Right. And they ran a little bit here and there, but Gonzaga did a really good job of challenging Duke at the rim. They are a big team. Gonzaga has a big team.
They are, yeah.
Their front line is nice, and
that Ryu kid is dominant. And then
Rui Hachimura, he's going to be a probably a lottery pick. And they've got some size. I love their point guard. They have a really, really nice team. And they are going to be they're probably going to be number one now because they beat the number one team. But they might stay there too, because I'll tell you, now they won that Maui Invitational. I'm not positive. They usually actually play a pretty strong non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
But I'm not positive. I have to look and see who they have. But once they start in the West Coast Conference, they'll have a team, maybe two, that might give them a game here and there. But maybe not even this year. Usually like a St. Mary's or somebody like that is pretty good too. But this year, Gonzaga is that. In a lot of years, they get love early in the season, top 10, top 15 or whatever, and then it's like, okay,
they take an L inside their conference, and everybody
or a couple
beats them down, and then they come back and do what they always do. I mean.
Yeah, and then they'll end up losing in the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight or something like that, usually in the tournament. And then you're like, okay, well that's the thing. They play in the West Coast Conference. Of course, they look great. Of course they're going to go 25-5 every year or whatever. But this looks like a different Gonzaga team. It really does. I think this one is really legitimate.
I'll tell you what, they play. I'm just looking here now. They play North Carolina December 15th. That
nice.
is going to be a fun game.
Nice.
Number 7, North Carolina. So they've got some games in there, like you said. They got some decent non-conference games in there. But, then they get into their, San Francisco, Santa Clara, Pacific, LMU, BYU, who sometimes is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's they just don't, St. Mary's is the one team, and BYU are the only two teams in their conference that give them a game ever. So I'm excited to see what this team, how this team continues down the road. But I like this Gonzaga team. They got a little point guard who can do it all. Quick,
man.
Quick.
I really like Josh Perkins is his name.
Josh Perkins.
He's a smaller guy. He's 6'3". I mean, he's not tiny, but can really handle the ball, can pass the ball, really good vision. He's not a huge scorer. I think he had 9 in this game. I think he averages maybe like 12 or something, but he's really efficient. He shot 50%. He was 3 for 6, I think, from the floor. He was 2 for 4, I want to say, for 1 or 2 or 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. But he played the most minutes. He played 38 minutes. He led them in minutes tonight, and he had 7 assists and 2 turnovers. Wow. So he had more than a 3-to-1 turnover ratio, and to play that many minutes and handle the ball that much, and run that offense, that's really, really impressive. He's averaging over
CP3 numbers, right?
Yeah, he's averaging over 8 assists a game. In college, usually that's right up near the top of the nation.
Yeah.
So I love a guy like that.
I know it. I know that's you, the little guy that's got handles. Speaking of that, real quick, have you seen the video going out and about now with Kyrie Irving and his dribbling little deal where he's standing on top of 2 basketballs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know balance is a good thing to have, but is that necessary? Honestly, what's that doing there? What's he doing?
I would rather see him standing on like 2 medicine balls or something, because you're going to make those basketballs lopsided standing on them.
He's just irritating.
I feel like you're mistreating those basketballs.
Adam's very irritated. You know how expensive those NBA basketballs are, dude.
Well, not to those guys, but yes, to me,
exactly. Yeah. And you're just going
like
to
an $80-$90 ball or something like that, probably more. But yes, so it is impressive, though. It's really impressive, because you see him doing those drills that you see like Steph Curry doing before every game, and then the camera pans out and he's standing on basketball.
It's impressive.
Really impressive.
I'm going to give you that. It's impressive. Is it really doing it? Is that doing something to help him out? How often when you're dribbling down? I mean, I guess if you're dribbling and somehow you dribble under your foot, you're going to be able to stand on the ball and not fall. I guess you still got to pick it up, and then you double dribble. I don't know. I just don't understand. The balance is important, but these dudes, it just doesn't make sense.
Look, he's probably the best ball handler in the league. So
really, you think he's better a ball handler than
it's him
Steph,
and Steph.
or
it's him and Steph.
Chris Paul?
Yeah, I think it's him and Steph.
I think Chris Paul is one of the best ball handlers
he's
still
up there.
to this day.
I agree with you. He's up there. But Kyrie.
The thing that makes Kyrie so much fun and Steph is Chris Paul might have better all around handles of like always know where the ball, blah blah blah, but those two can move so explosively in one step. It's not even funny.
Their change of direction
is incredible.
Yeah.
How many times do you see Steph pull that move where he acts like he's going to take off down the baseline, stop, and the guy just goes through a spin cycle and falls on his butt, and he just stands there, stares at him for a second, and then puts it up. I love that.
Dribbles back.
I love to the 3-point line.
Turns back to the 3-point line, yeah. And
I love that.
Launches a thing that looks like it's way off balance and falling away and stuff, and it's perfect.
And he'll throw it 30 feet in the air and drain it.
I'll tell you, that guy.
He had go ahead.
That guy might be the MVP based on him being hurt and being out the last week or whatever, and the Warriors struggling, even with three other All-Stars on the team. Without Steph Curry, they're a way different team. They've lost 3 straight without him.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he makes a huge difference for the rest of those guys.
I agree. He obviously, and maybe KD wouldn't be spitting on people. Speaking of
spitting on people,
what am I talking about?
You're thinking of Rajon Rondo.
I'm thinking of yeah, exactly. Anyway, all right, so let's get into what we like to do on the podcast here. We're going to get into our Big 3 segment, the Big 3 things going on in the NBA right now. So we don't talk about all the boring everyday stuff of the NBA. We'll just get into the Big 3 topics.
There is no boring stuff in the NBA.
There's not, but normally this is where our views go from 40,000 down to like
39,998.
Anyway, so we're going to start off. Let's start off with KD then, all right?
Mm-hmm.
KD gets in trouble. He is cussing out a fan.
This is going to be fun.
And he's cussing out a fan, and this is the part I like about. So I've got my own thoughts on KD in general. There's some people that just aren't made to be in the spotlight, and that dude's one of them. His personality-wise, he is doing this. Like, you got to know you're going to get yourself in trouble when you're cussing at somebody, right? You're gonna get in trouble,
probably,
obviously, if you're cussing at a fan. But he does it, and he's talking directly over top of a row of media that all have recorders sitting right there in front of them. Like, come on, man.
Yep.
All right, so he got fined.
He did get fined.
Tell me what you think.
There was a fan, I guess, underneath the basket who was heckling him. I don't know what he was saying exactly, but Kevin Durant told him to shut the bleep up and watch the bleeping game.
Mm-hmm.
So he got fined $25,000 for that because, like you said, it was caught on camera. And look, I can't stand the way that fans can heckle players, can say almost anything they want to a player, and the player is supposed to act like perfectly professional all the time and like it's not bothering them at all. They're human beings. If somebody was at your job calling you every name in the book,
don't use me.
I have to use you. Telling you, well, I know because you're so laid back, it doesn't bother you.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to turn around and have fun with that guy.
But if it was every single day, every single time you left, you went out on the road, and people are giving you a hard time, saying stuff about your family, calling your family members names, saying, I mean that I think even
look, brother, it's going too far. I'll give you that. I don't like yelling negative things out at players at any time, whether it's your team or the other team. I think it's stupid. I hate that.
Of course it's stupid.
Dumb. That person that person should be kicked out of the game. And
They should be.
I still don't understand how they banish somebody for life from a stadium.
Right.
So you're telling me that if I buy a ticket from a scalper and walk in, you're going to there he is. There he is. You remember that guy? There's Adam Schmidt. We got face recognition on everybody that walks in the stadium. Come on, man. I get any game I want to go to.
Maybe.
Kick me out, banish me for life.
Maybe.
It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Anyway, besides that dude should be kicked out of the game. I think. But listen, here's the deal. You are getting, and I don't like counting other people's money. You're getting paid a lot, all right? Mm-hmm. And your job, you know what your job is. Your job is to go into other people's home court and play basketball. And you're the best player on the team because Steph's not out there. You're going to get it, especially Kevin Durant, because people know they can get under his skin. If you are thin-skinned, people are going to take advantage of that on the road.
Certainly.
Shut up, dude. Don't go cussing at. Listen, if you're in the middle of a game and somebody's bugging you that bad, tell some. Come on, cussing out the guy in the first row because he's saying something to you. That just makes it puts you on his level. You are now on his level. Don't get on his level, man. You're a professional athlete. Maybe you are on his level in real life with your trolling 13 burner accounts on Twitter and getting in fights with other people about Kevin Durant, and it's really you. I mean, this dude's obviously got some psychological problems going on. I think he's maybe not psychological. He's got self-esteem issues or something. The guy needs a little bit of help somewhere, somehow, because he doesn't know how to take what he's got, what has been given to him. He doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know how to be LeBron James. I guess not everybody can be LeBron James, you know? Not everybody can be LeBron James. LeBron James came out of that decision and people were burning his jerseys. You never saw LeBron get into anything like this. He ends up going back to Cleveland and they love him. And this dude I'm telling you, KD's got to get his head on straight. Don't cuss at anybody. Just don't do it. I know he's bugging you. It's like you said, it's every game, everywhere he goes.
Right. So wouldn't that weigh on you then? Wouldn't that grind you enough? I'm sure every night it bothers him. I'm sure every night it
I'm not saying that it shouldn't. Yeah,
it
does.
gets deeper
Obviously,
and deeper for him.
He's got to be better.
And
than
finally,
that.
he's
got to
like,
be better than that. He has to. That's what he get paid. That's what he gets paid for. I don't get
absolutely
paid.
Not what he gets paid for. He gets paid to play basketball.
He gets paid to play basketball, and in his they have a contract. In your contract, when you sign your contract, it has a big part in there about how to act with fans and all that stuff, and how you're supposed to keep yourself. What's the word I'm looking for? How to behave and things like that when you're on the court and when you're out in public. There's things detrimental to the team or whatever.
Sure.
That's in these guys' contracts. So yeah, I am saying that is part of your job.
But that's without being provoked. That's without being.
So no, hold on now. If you're an NBA player and you're a superstar, you're going to be provoked.
Yes, but that doesn't make it. That's not okay though. That's okay, and
I'm not saying it's okay, but it's also not okay for you to turn around and start cussing that guy out either.
Really. He said a cuss word twice, and really, it could have been a lot worse than that. I have no problem with what he did.
I'm going to tell you this.
With what he hears on a nightly basis, for him to turn around and say, shut the bleep up and watch the bleep in game, that's all he said. I mean, that's really, honestly, for what these guys hear all the time, that I'm sure we don't know nearly what these guys hear.
Oh, God, no.
But we know enough to know that they hear a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what Kevin Durant's mom looks like because she's at every game and they show her all the time and she's the real MVP and all that kind of stuff. But so I'm sure he hears a lot of stuff about her. I'm sure he hears stuff about his family. Look, it's just not okay. I don't care.
I'm not saying that it's okay.
For what he said, honestly, I feel like he could have said a lot worse than that, and it still would have been probably kind of okay. I don't want to see anybody say anything to fans that way. I want to see everybody, especially those stars, especially Kevin Durant. I want to like that guy. I want to.
Everybody wants to like him, but he's made it impossible to do.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's made it impossible to do. People hate him because he went to the Golden State Warriors, which I still think is the stupidest thing ever.
That's not why people hate him. People hate him.
It is. It's a big reason why people give him a hard time.
He gets a hard time for that, and I'll give you that. But he's the thin-skinned dude. They know they can get under his skin. That's why they give him a hard time.
That's even worse. Yes. That's even worse. So
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just telling you.
That's the definition of bullying. So you are. So I know I can get to you. I know I can get to you. You're an easy target. So I'm going to go at you to make you feel bad or to because I think it's giving my team an advantage in some way or something like that. Fans get away with way too much, and I feel like what Kevin Durant said, okay, if you want to fine him because you want to keep the level of integrity for your players in your league, you know, at the highest level, okay, fine. He knew he was going to get fined. He actually found out on a podcast, on a Yahoo Sports podcast, it came up on the guy's phone. He's like, oh, do you know about the fine yet? He's like, no, what is it? And he's like, you get fined $25,000 for cussing it. And he was like, because I told the guy to shut the bleep up and said the bleep, and he said it. And he's like, I knew I was going to get fined. He's like, you know, it's just ridiculous what people can call me all kinds of things.
Here's the deal. It's ridiculous that can happen. And he just got fined. It wasn't like it's that big a deal. I don't know that it's really even that big of a deal.
$25,000 though for telling a guy to shut up and watch the game.
If he would have said shut up and watch the game, it would have been no problem at all. Yeah. It's the family.
He threw an F word in there.
Threw a couple F bombs
even though
in there.
Every game, all game, guys are doing that.
I know, but
all
that
the
was
fans around
somewhere else. Here's the deal. So, do you remember when Tyreek Hill in New England got a beer thrown in his face after he scored that touchdown?
Yes.
I had no problem if Tyreek Hill would have jumped in the stands and beat that dude up. I think he deserves to do that. That kind of thing.
You have to be professional.
No, you're going to get that. No, there's a difference. That dude. Now you're in somebody's personal space. That's a whole different story.
When it becomes a physical thing.
When it becomes a physical thing, that's a different story. Words, come on. Maybe it's just me because that kind of stuff usually doesn't bother me, and I can usually laugh it off.
You don't get what those guys get though.
You have no idea. Everywhere I go, I don't get cussing
you don't
out
get
and call my
anywhere.
Family. No, I don't.
Anywhere close.
But everywhere I go, people give me a hard time because they know it's funny, and I laugh it off. But not obviously
because
nothing.
They're joking with you.
They're joking exactly. And I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you the truth. That dude in the front row, he doesn't care about Kevin Durant. That dude didn't care. He didn't. To be honest, I guarantee he didn't even mean the stuff he said. He just knew that if he kept it up, he was going to get a reaction out of KD. Bullying, whatever you want to call it, is exactly what it was. And that guy should, like I said, I don't agree with it. That dude should be gone too. But KD, come on, man. You better than that. Keep the F-bombs to yourself.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to hear him say that stuff either. I just don't have a problem with him saying really what he said to another grown man that is there at a game heckling another grown man.
I'll be honest with you.
His job.
I'll be honest with you. I agree with you. All right. Let's see. Big thing number 2. John Wall. Speaking of getting fined, how about John Wall cussing out Scott Brooks during a practice? Now everybody on this team all of a sudden is starting to sound like John Wall is not even liked on this team.
Maybe not, but I'll tell you what. The Washington Wizards are, what are they, 5-15 or something like that. They've had a really bad start.
Yeah.
They've had a terrible start. Everybody there is unhappy right now. Guys are, really, everybody's having a problem there except for the one guy that you expect to, Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
He's played
You notice that dude doesn't even look like Dwight Howard anymore? I didn't even recognize him.
Dwight Howard doesn't look like Dwight Howard anymore?
Like, what happened to his shoulders? I bet that dude's lost like 30 pounds.
He doesn't work out anymore because he's always hurt. Right now he's butt hurt.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
He has a gluteal injury.
So he's literally butt hurt.
He's literally butt hurt. His butt hurts. And
Hey,
that's the.
I've had
that's
gluteal injections and gluteal problems before. I'm telling you, it's not fun, man. Those gluteal. I've never had a gluteal injection. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, you had
never
those
happened.
implants put in, but
Hey, let me tell you, when I get shaking this thing, I get to twerking.
Oh,
If I get to twerking the wrong way, sometimes them implants start moving and you can tell they're in there. But if I do the twerk the right way, and it just
they swish around to like the side of your leg and stuff.
Yeah. I give Cardi B and Nicki Minaj a run for their money.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
We'll go with that.
It's the truth.
No, but listen, this situation in Washington, it has gotten really, really bad. There apparently was a practice, this very same practice that John Wall. The thing was, John Wall was getting into it with his teammate, and Scott Brooks kind of tried to step in and facilitate the thing, and John Wall just cussed at him.
But here's the deal: this isn't the first time it's happened. John Wall is known on this. He's been known to disrespect basically Scott Brooks on an everyday basis. The way I understand it, coming out now, these guys are talking.
Sounds like everybody does that because he had that same problem in OKC.
Yeah. Yep. But it just seems like losing
does that to a
It
locker
does.
room.
It
really does
does.
that to a team, and winning has the same effect the opposite way.
Yep.
It's you can deal with. Look, that's
Look
why.
at the Cavs last year.
Yeah, and that's why this whole thing with Draymond Green and Kevin Durant are going to blow over because right now they're on a 3-game losing streak, which is the longest in the last 4 or 5 years for them or whatever. But they're going to get back. You know, Steph's going to get back. They're going to get back to winning almost every single night, and they're going to be back in that in the number 1 or number 2 spot, and they're going to be really, really good again. They're going to be the best team in the league shortly, and that's all going to blow over and they're going to be fine because winning solves everything.
Yes.
And in the same way.
And then Katie will leave next year, and it is what it is.
And it'll be gone, and then they'll go at each other wherever Katie goes next year.
Katie's a little baby, and Draymond Green's always going to be getting in fights with him now. And Katie's thin skin's going to get in his way.
Speaking of all that, you have the Warriors and the Thunder. So you have the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook thing going on tonight, which is actually kind of fun. I do like
this one because I honestly think these two dudes text each other beforehand and like come up with like a wrestling like it's planned out on how this is gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, all right,
I'm gonna throw you against the ropes.
Yeah, here's the deal. Exactly. He's like, all right, here you go. I'm gonna dunk on you, right? But as soon as I dunk on you, don't worry, I'm gonna let you block it next time, all right? But we both gonna mean mug every time.
We gotta get in each other's faces.
I'm gonna throw one elbow into your shoulder, make it look like I hit you in the neck. We'll see if we can get some people going down. Get some crazy stuff going. I'm telling you, that's what those guys do.
I don't think that's what they do, but that's a fun thing. And so we got off topic. But anyway, the Washington Wizards are a mess right now. That same practice that John Wall did that. He was getting into it with somebody else, so he cussed at Scott Brooks because he was trying to step in. Bradley Beal got into it with Austin Rivers, and then Ernie Grunfeld, the general manager, was at the practice, and Bradley Beal started going off on Ernie Grunfeld, saying, I'm sick of this bleep. It's been 7 years, and it starts from the top, and it's, just the culture there is really bad right now. Mm-hmm. And guess what? It starts from the top, sure, but guess what? It also starts with playing defense. They're the second worst, statistically, the second worst defensive team in the league. And that's what Scott Brooks said. He's like, we just need to be more disciplined. We need to have better effort. Like, that's defensive stuff.
Yep.
If you can't get everybody on board with playing defense, you're going to stink. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. Yep. You are going to. That's why I think Gonzaga played more defense tonight than Duke did.
You're right. And people talk about this in the NBA all the time that they don't play defense. There's no defense in the NBA. So listen, there are some teams that don't play defense, and they're bad teams.
Yes.
And there are good teams that don't play very good defense. But you watch those teams as they go on, they turn that defense on when they need to. These guys can play defense. The Wizards, they just can't play defense.
They just don't.
Or just don't. Maybe there's no turning it on at any point in time. There's no lockdown. John Wall's not playing defense. Bradley Beal's not playing defense. And those are their two best guys. And if things follow downhill, man, you know what I mean? Like the guys on the lower end guys, if the best guys on the team aren't doing something, The other guys aren't going to do it. That's why LeBron James, another reason why LeBron James is the greatest teammate of all time, because that dude works hard at everything. Listen, does he take plays off? Yes. But, in practice, that dude is D'ing up, and he's making everybody else following his footsteps.
He is usually a very good example, yeah.
Usually, he's the example. He's the king, man. Come on.
All right, Mr. Oh, boy. All right. But now we're hearing all these rumors about, okay, so who's going to go first? Is John Wall getting traded? Is Bradley Beal getting traded? Otto Porter getting traded? Guys are starting to talk about the possibilities. Everybody's on the trade block for them. Nobody's safe.
Oh, they came out and said it, and then that pissed everybody off even
Right.
more. Markieff Morris is cussing back. He's with his bull crap. Everybody's upset about it. This team is in a tailspin.
It's just a bad culture there
This
right
team is going to end up – this team, they might win more games than the Cavs, but they are in a worse spot than the Cavs are right now.
now. I think they are probably less happy than the Cavs are, because the Cavs, look, they're dealing with a bunch of injuries. They've got J.R. Smith that's just, I guess, done playing now for them.
They've come to a mutual agreement, and if you want, we can switch on.
Which we will go into now.
We'll go into the third of the big three things in the NBA. We're just going to talk about Cleveland in general. We'll start with JR leaving Cleveland, exiting. They basically just came together and said, look, this ain't working. JR wants to win. All right, I understand that. It's like you said before. When you're winning, it cures a lot of things. JR's known for being a knucklehead, all right? And he was a knucklehead in Cleveland. But they won, so it was all good. Shirt off all day, every day, everything's good with him. So, but they start losing, and here comes this is the J.R. Smith. When they won their championship, I saw this. I was watching ESPN today. J.R. Smith's daughter's on the court while they're celebrating, and somebody who's got an ESPN microphone in her face and said something like, hey, how great is this? What do you think about your dad being on the championship team? And she goes, I'm just happy that my dad didn't do anything to get kicked off the team.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. I do remember that.
How great is that? So, I mean, it's just how he is, and it's good. Just like you said, it's a culture. When you're losing, the locker room's bad. J.R. Smith wants to win. That's the only way he's going to be a positive person on your team is if you're on a winning team. So if you're not on a winning team, don't sign J.R. Smith because it's not going to do you any good.
Yeah, it sounds like it is making him look really bad that the Cavs said, you know what, we'll just pay you until we can find a trade for you. Just stay home.
Just stay home.
Stay away from our young guys.
Yeah.
Because I mean you're exactly right. That's
exactly what it is.
When he's unhappy, he's not going to be good for your team. He is not going to be good for it. So he was unhappy. That was part of the reason that Tyronn Lue got fired, because he wanted to play all the veterans, so he wanted to play JR. They fired him because they want the Colin Sextons.
The whole
and the
point is
guys,
to get these young dudes out there and playing.
To play, and Tyronn Lue didn't want to do that, so they fired him. So then, since then, J.R. Smith hasn't played as much.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, I'm not playing as much. We're losing every game. They're 2-15 or whatever.
Yep.
He's like, I'm done here. I'm done here, which is crazy because, man, you know what?
How bad does it have to be?
It has, well, and that's the thing. Like, it has happened. I don't want to open a whole can of worms here, but it's happened for a long time. Like a long, long time ago, people were doing this, but it's more prevalent now. The power that the players have,
it's incredible.
It's incredible, guys. It's happening all the time
in the strong union sports of baseball and basketball. And the NFL union is strong as well, but without the guaranteed contracts and all that stuff like that, these players, man, they can hold everything over your head.
Yep, and they do. They're doing that.
It's because that they feel like they've been having that stuff held over their head for years. They've got a little bit of power. Somebody does it. All it takes is one or two guys to do it and get away with it, and you start getting weirdos that think that they can do it.
It just happened with Jimmy Butler, who's a superstar.
Yeah,
but now you got J.R. Smith. The only reason he's going to get away with it is because he's a veteran.
Yeah.
If
he's not, is he really getting away with it? Because he's actually, he's getting paid, and they're going to trade him. But really, he's not helping himself in this situation. Jimmy Butler was still helping himself. Jimmy Butler said, look, I'm gone. Get me the hell out of here. But I'm still going to go out and play every night and be the bad man that I am when I get out there. So he's still showing that. At least he's showing what he can do. JR doesn't even get an opportunity to show that he can still play. I mean, he can, but to show that he's in shape or anything like that. I mean, he's in shape. You see a dude with his shirt off all the time.
Yeah. 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 And you know what? Jimmy Butler actually did take 3 games off, but when he was in there,
the game
he was
before
playing hard.
he had one game in the middle he took off, and the game before he got traded, he took off. All right. He played his butt off.
Right. Right. When he was playing,
he was
in there. Yeah. It's just a very interesting thing. So J.R. Smith is on his way out, but I'll tell you who came back into Cleveland tonight is LeBron James.
The King is back.
Do you like LeBron
Cleveland.
James?
No, LeBron's LeBron. That LeBron James is my man. Listen,
I know he is.
I love Michael, dude. Jordan's my dude, right? This man, I'm telling you right now, is this cat's doing more things. And my thing with LeBron is it's not just the fact that he's the best player. Still in the league after 15 years or whatever at 35 years old. He's still the best player in the league. He still does more for his teammates. He's just the best teammate there could be. I wish I was LeBron's wife or girlfriend or side piece or something like that.
Again.
It don't matter.
Getting real weird again.
No. But anyway, seriously, so my man's back in Cleveland. Congratulations. What happened with that? You got the scores pulled up at all? Did you see if when we came down here to start this podcast, it was a tie game, 24-24. Obviously early in the game.
They were losing at halftime by 2.
Were they?
The Cleveland
2
Cavaliers.
and 15 Cavs. Now, here's the thing. Everybody was worried, what's going to happen when LeBron gets here? Is he going to get booed? Are people going to cheer for him? Look, to me, this is easy. That you give him a standing ovation and you cheer like crazy for him. They should have unveiled a statue tonight or named a street after him tonight or put his jersey up in there tonight because, honestly, they're saying they're still having trouble selling tickets to this game. So do something for this guy because, listen, this dude did something for your city, not just your franchise, not just your team, but your city. He made Cleveland relevant. He brought money to Cleveland. That's it. That one dude did that.
Yeah. I don't know why anyone would possibly boo this guy. I don't care if you're in Cleveland or Miami or LA or whatever. Why would you? Because he chose not to sign back with your team.
The first time it happened, and that was when this whole players holding this teams hostage like they're doing now, that was kind of the first big one to do it with the decision. And yeah, everybody hated it. People have been doing it so much since then. Dude, and he brought them a championship. He did what he finally set out to do. He brought them that championship. How do you boo that cat? And now he's moving on because, look, you can't be a Cavs fan and be honest with yourself and say that front office is making any moves correctly. No. He won a championship and went to 3 straight despite having probably the worst front office in all of the NBA. Maybe not the worst, but one of the top worst 5. So, yeah, LeBron is the man. LeBron was the GM, the coach, the best player, the point guard, the power forward, the small forward, and played center. He did it all. You got to stand up and cheer that dude. He did something nobody else has been able to do in Cleveland for 100 years.
Yep, and they did do a tribute video. So during a timeout in the first quarter, they played a tribute video. It was pretty short, actually, much shorter than I thought, but it was cool.
Winters was pretty excited about it. He said he saw it, wasn't going to say anything about it, but he said he was pretty excited about it. It was a pretty nice video.
It was cool, and what I liked the most about it is it showed some highlights and stuff from them winning the championship and all that kind of stuff. And then it said basketball was great, but we really know it's about more. It's about more than basketball or whatever.
And they show the school or something, or.
Well, yeah, they showed him doing a bunch of community stuff and the school thing and the LeBron James Family Foundation or whatever that he had for a long time. So that part was really cool, and that's kind of how it ended. And he was, he came out of the timeout and was waving to everybody, and it looked like he was a little uncomfortable, actually.
Which is different for him, but usually he's ready for stuff like that. And,
right.
And he knows how to take it in, unlike KD would have done. KD will never get a tribute video.
No, he will, because every single person gets one now.
Where's he going to get it at?
Isaiah Thomas.
Where's he going to get it at? He leaves Oakland. He leaves Golden State this year. He's not getting one when he comes back to Golden State. They were winning. They did everything. They did everything without KD. They were doing these things without KD. He's not going to get it there because he's going to end up pissing everybody off by leaving, because Draymond's going to run his mouth and make Golden State fans hate him. Woo. Try to get that one out. And then, he's not getting one in OKC. He done burned that bridge with their main man.
Why would Golden State fans hate him?
Because when he's going to leave in this whole Draymond Green thing, everywhere he goes, Draymond Green's going to talk about him. Everywhere he goes, and then Golden State fans are going to have Draymond Green's back, and they're going to go right along with their teammate, their team. I'm telling you, I'm just telling you how it is. That's
Draymond's not going to say anything about Kevin Durant.
You're crazy.
Afterwards.
He leaves. He's going to get on KD all the time. He clowns everybody
during the games. Yeah, so maybe in that case, Golden State fans will start if they go at it wherever Durant goes.
First thing that happens, they win a championship, and KD leaves, and they win a championship that year. First microphone in front of Draymond Green he's going to say something. He's going to go, "Hey KD, I told you, hey KD."
No way. I'm telling you though, guys are getting tribute videos for being in a place for like 2 years and averaging 15 points a game, and then going somewhere else, and then they come back the next year and they get a tribute video. It's gotten out of hand. But anyway,
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
It's oh gosh. Anyway,
okay.
LeBron. So the Lakers did beat the Cavs by 4 points. It was 109-105.
Close game. Way to go. Way to take care. Hey, listen. That another way LeBron's being a good guy. He goes back into Cleveland, his hometown, where he still loves these people, and he's like, you know what? Y'all been losing a lot. I'm gonna give you a reason to stay at this game all day. I'm gonna give you something to cheer about. I'm not gonna let you win. I'm gonna win in the end, but I'm gonna help you guys out. I'm gonna give you a little upbeat day in your 2-15 season.
You know what's funny is you love LeBron James so much, and there was something that happened in a game. So he had 51 the other night, right? Their last game 2 nights ago or whatever. He had 51.
Right.
He did something in that game that I did not like. And I thought about bringing it up and talking about it tonight.
Is it the 3? Was it the 3? What was the score of that game? No, what was the score of that game?
It was like I think it might have been double digits.
Okay, well
here, like 9 or 12 or something like that.
Here's the deal. This is my thing. All right. If you have the opportunity to dribble the clock out, dribble the clock out. I have no problem taking a shot if the shot clock's going down. If shot clock's going down, throw it up there. Maybe you get a rebound and you can get it, and then you can hold it out and walk it out.
But the game is in hand. Yes, you do have to shoot it because the shot clock, I mean, you can take a shot clock violation, but you can shoot it because there's a shot clock.
Yeah.
He was 4 feet behind the three-point line.
Yeah.
There was a double team. His guy was on him. There was another guy running to double him.
And it was 1 second left on the shot clock. He had no choice.
Because he stood there and held it until that
He did the right thing by bringing the clock all the way down, letting it go down, and he threw one up.
You shoot another three-pointer, double teamed from 4 feet behind
the
line.
What else was he going to do with it?
Up 10 with like 30 seconds left.
What was he going to do with it?
Go to the rim, pass the ball.
How you go
one
to
of
the rim?
those things.
How you go to the rim with 1 second left on the clock?
You go to the rim before 1 second left on the clock.
Well, but Lance just told him, you ain't gonna take a three.
Which
Lance
is why,
just told him,
which is why you were stupid for signing Lance Stevenson to your team.
Don't do that to my man. Don't infiltrate LeBron's head. You're the only person that's ever been in there.
Get
out of LeBron's head.
It was a little bit dirty to me. I didn't like it.
When I saw it happen, I thought of you.
It was a little bit like the Jamal Murray thing. Not as bad.
Here's the difference. It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad.
I agree.
And number 2, that's LeBron, bro.
Number 2, it's LeBron.
It's LeBron. I know. And that's not saying because I love LeBron. I'm saying, look, you're Jamal Murray.
Yes, it is.
No, I'm saying you're Jamal Murray. That's LeBron
No,
James.
It doesn't. That shouldn't matter.
Oh, bologna
It does to
sandwich.
people,
oh,
but it
no.
shouldn't.
That's just like if you're
You're
in
doing the
practice. If you're in practice and the coach said, like NFL practice, and the coach sits Brett Favre all week, doesn't let him play, and the guys are like, oh man, he don't ever practice. Yeah, but look, when my man gets out there on the field, what does he do?
So you also believe in the superstar call being correct, right? Like you believe that LeBron should get foul calls that not everybody else gets, right? Swipe left or swipe right on that.
Swipe left. Swipe left.
Oh.
I disagree with that.
See, I think that's pretty similar to that thing too. Then, if it's okay for him because he's LeBron James, because his name is LeBron James.
Now you're talking about changing a game. Now you're talking about changing a game because of getting too many foul calls and stuff like that on you. Here's what I think about the LeBron James superstar calls. I don't think there's enough calls on him. I think there's not enough foul calls on when he goes into the paint. I think there's a lot of bullcrap ones that get called that he doesn't get touched, but I think he gets mauled half the time and they don't call anything. Just because he's so big, you can hit him hard and he won't move. It's the Shaq deal. You can beat those dudes up down there when he can go up and get a rebound. You can beat him up as he goes up. He's not going to get they're not going to call a foul. They call their foul on when he's driving to the basket and he barely gets touched.
See, that evened out for Shaq because Shaq was a living, breathing offensive foul constantly. He was just an offensive foul every possession for me. That's why I didn't like him much as a player. Love him now. Didn't care for him as a player. I think he's a little bit overrated as a player.
Wow, really?
Oh, yeah. Shaq,
That's one of the most dominant players in
That's
NBA
what everybody
history.
says, and he is, but he admittedly didn't rebound as well as he could have, and he never developed. He could never shoot the ball. He had to finish around the rim all the time.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And he was never like a bit. He had some games where he blocked a lot of shots and stuff, but when he would disappear on defense sometimes too and stuff like that. And he admits that. He's like, I wasn't a defensive player. I wasn't a rebounder. I would just get the ball and dominate you and dunk on you. And that's what he would do. But I
love Shaq too.
He would
look. I just love happy people. Just be happy. If you're happy, I love you.
I love Shaq.
Be happy, I love you. If KD was happy, I used to love KD when he had
KD
them
would be happy if he
those
didn't
Foot Locker commercials.
If he didn't have idiots yelling stupid stuff at him all the time.
Oh, please!
Because he decided to go play for a good team.
Whatever. What LeBron? You don't see LeBron going around cussing every fan out. Shoot, for 2 years when he went to Miami, everybody in this country hated him.
He just cried. Like he just doesn't have that in him. He just gets sad and goes to the hotel and cries.
How do you know?
Because I know.
Don't talk about
because
LeBron.
LeBron's God. I know.
Stop it. All right. There we go.
Okay, I'll stop.
All right. Well, I think that's about all we got, right, brother? How you feel? You got anything else you want to get into?
I think I'm all set.
Think you're all set? You think you got it all out?
On this Thanksgiving Eve.
On this Thanksgiving Eve. Once again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. We appreciate you listening. SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, iTunes. If you check it out on Facebook Live or on YouTube, we appreciate that as well. A few people still hanging on. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for hanging in there. And check us out. SoundCloud, nosebleedsports.com, coming soon. T-shirts. Vote on coming soon. Vote on Elfrid Payton versus JaVale McGee, worst hair in the NBA.
Coming soon.
We're also going to have 3 logos up there, hopefully tonight too. Vote on one of those. And then we can finally get those T-shirts out to the people we promised them to.
Right, coming soon.
And if you want a Nosebleeds Podcast T-shirt,
No. I'm
not giving them away anymore. I'm not giving them away. If you want one, you can pay for it.
Yeah,
$39.95. Not $39.95.
6 easy installments of $39.95
per shirt. We even got a deal going. You 1 shirt a month.
And you have to pick it up.
Shipping's $40. Anyway, all right. That sounds good. We appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
I'll see you tomorrow on the gridiron.
Yes, you will.
I can't wait.
I can.
I know you can. All right. So for Adam Schmidt, I'm Chris Witt. Don't forget to turn your headlights on. Oh, I forgot to explain the reason why our song is just a goofy beat because we got yelled at by Warner Brothers. Ding dongs.